What's up, A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live for the pregame show presented by our friends at X Golf Nashville, the new indoor home for golf in Middle Tennessee. Gonna have a big game day today because the Titans are at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a game that is very winnable and can be a now or never moment for this Titans team. I'm Austin Stanley alongside our Titans reporter for A to Z Sports.com, Sam Phelan, for our pregame, halftime show, and postgame show here throughout our Titan Game Day Live day. It's going to be a busy one. We'll talk about what Will Levis can do to torch a Bucs weakness in this now or never moments. A lot of other things to get to. The X Golf XFactor, our bingo board that is one square away from hitting Titan bingo. And we'll get to pregame predictions with BetMGM. But Sam, before we get going, tell the people what they got to do here, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Hey, let's share the show before we jump into it this morning. Got 29 minutes till kickoff, so enough time to have a great conversation about exactly what's at stake here for the Tennessee Titans in Tampa. A big game, like Austin mentioned, some interesting matchups to look out for, and what I feel like could shift the course of the vibe and the season for the Titans today in Tampa. So a lot to talk about. Make sure you share the show. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the share button. If you're watching on YouTube, take that YouTube link, send it to a friend, a group chat, repost us on X or retweet us, whatever you want to call it. I don't care as long as you're sharing the show and getting it out there and getting more people involved in this morning's conversation. Sunday, it's game day. Let's do it.
Yep, let's get it going officially. Welcome into Titan Game Day Live, our pregame show presented by X Golf Nashville, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee. X Golf, you play, train, entertain yourself. XGolfNashville.com. Also, shout out to all of our Titan Game Day partners, the Mint Gaming Hall, themintgaminghall.com, BetMGM, the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, wherever justice demands, Chim Chimney for all your chimney needs, Adventure Science Center, explore and discover at adventuresci.org, and Jarrett Fire, keeping your facility comfortable and secure, one inspection at a time. Sam, we're going to have a big pregame show. We'll talk about the Bucs weakness that I think Will Levis can take advantage of. Steven says bingo and 40% off A to Z merch. There's an opportunity to have both in the same day. Yeah, you can get 40% off with all of our merch at shop.atozsportsnashville.com. Please buy it so Zach and I don't have to store it in our houses. But Sam, before we dive into this now or never moment, take us through some of the inactive updates from this morning in Tampa. Buck Rising down there for A to Z and 104.5 The Zone in Tampa. But what are the inactives, the latest for today's game?
Well, for the Titans side of things, some surprises, actually. A couple of expected guys ruled out. Sean Murphy-Bunting, Daniel Brunskill, Traylon Burks, all these guys. Mike Vrabel ruled out on Friday. I made note of two guys in particular, Austin. Number one is Ryan Tannehill is inactive for this game. Malik Willis is the QB2. And so, we heard kind of that Tannehill would be questionable, be a game time decision. Interested in seeing how the Titans were going to operate their quarterback depth chart moving forward after announcing Will Levis as the full-time starter. But Ryan Tannehill is inactive. So it is Malik Willis. God forbid we get there. That the Titans need to go away from Will Levis for any reason. But Rashad Weaver, also inactive for the Titans. It's the second time in 3 games that Weaver has been inactive. And certainly notable because of the continued hot button topic that is this run defense, and particularly the play of the Titans edge rushers. And Rashad Weaver has been the guy, or at least was the guy coming into the year, that the Titans viewed as a good run stopper off the edge for them that was able to set the edge. He's inactive again, second time in 3 weeks. He tweeted out an LOL about an hour or so ago. So clearly maybe some frustration and not too happy is Rashad Weaver at that decision. And then on the Bucs side of things, I think the biggest note is that Carlton Davis is out. So one of those 2 Bucs corners is going to be out for the game. So potentially gives Tennessee a good matchup there as they look to air it out and hit some X plays through the passing game.
Yeah, a quick thought that I had, and Sam, I kind of talked about this before we went live. If Ryan Tannehill is dressed out as the third emergency quarterback and he's not wearing street clothes and a baseball cap, I feel like the Titans are misusing this emergency quarterback rule that, the emergency quarterback can only come in the game if the first 2 active quarterbacks are deemed not medically able to play. So Ryan Tannehill, as the dressed out emergency quarterback, you'd have to wait for Levis and Willis to both be out medically before Tannehill could come in. And then you're putting a guy who is already returning from an injury who might not be 100% in with no emergency backup. If Tannehill is dressed out to play, it would have been smarter to use the rule to your benefit to make Tannehill the second quarterback and Malik your emergency, because if Tannehill's the emergency, he's got a bad ankle. That's not a very good emergency plan. So I think that's something that I'm interested in seeing what happens with Tannehill. But if Tannehill's not dressed out in clothes, in the jersey, in the uniform, then he's not able to dress out to play. So that's a moot point, but that's something to look at as soon as we see the Titans players on the field today.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no two ways about it here. I mean, it's black or white here. If Ryan Tannehill is so injured that he's unable to go, you don't want to risk him being on the field at all, and he is not dressed in uniform, then no issues, no qualms. This is the right choice. And yeah, don't even think twice about it. But if he is in a uniform and you do think there's a chance he could play, then this is a misuse of the rule by the Titans. Absolutely.
All right, so now let's talk about how Will Levis can torch one of the Bucs' weaknesses in this now or never moment for the Titans at Tampa today, in this game where I think the Titans are in must-win territory at 3-5. The Bucs are also at the same record. The Bucs just gave up 5 touchdown passes and 470 yards to fellow rookie C.J. Stroud a week ago, and Carlton Davis, one of the Bucs' best defenders, is out. This Bucs defense, Sam, we talked about this on Friday. They have a really good front, but they're vulnerable over the middle. You brought up Chig and how the opportunity could be to go up against this Tampa defense with aggressive linebackers, and tight end play could be a big deal for the Titans today. But I just think overall, Will Levis has a chance to find some holes in this Bucs secondary and in the back half of this defense, and to be able to carry over what CJ Stroud was able to accomplish last Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, this past defense has just been awful. And like Todd Bowles, a defensive-minded head coach, has not been able to figure out what they're doing back there. So for a guy like Will Levis, who we know is not afraid to take these shots, who's always looking to try and hit that big play over the top, and, you know, potentially a good game, like I've mentioned a couple times now, for a tight end in Chig, who we thought could be more of a vertical threat coming into the year, to maybe finally break out. But this is certainly a favorable matchup for a quarterback like Levis, who can kill you deep if you give him an inch. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile. And so, yeah, no Carlton Davis hurts this defense even more. And excited to see if Will Levis can exploit that. The Titans are going to need it, because I don't know how much the run game is going to be there against this front. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I think it's really important for, the Texans threw for 1,000,000 yards, but they never really ran the football. The Titans are going to run the football more in every game than the Texans ever will this season, because that's how their offenses are set up. But I think this is perfect for play action pass, right? Because the aggressive nature of Todd Bowles blitzing and aggressive linebackers, that's where the play action pass is even more effective. I think that's such a big deal for the Titans today. So, Sam, let's go ahead. I will give an update. Ryan Tannehill is wearing his uniform. So the Titans officially misusing the emergency quarterback rule, in my opinion.
It's not even an opinion. I mean, it's accurate.
You think it's fact? You think it's fact that they're misusing this rule?
Pretty much. I mean, like, the rule is what the rule is. And unless, I don't know, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. So let's ask this question. What is the X factor in this game today? What is the X factor in this game today for the Titans to get a win over the Bucs today in Tampa? Who or what will be our Golf X factor for this game today? Titans trying to get a win in Tampa. So we'll get to your answers here on the X factor presented by our friends at X Golf Nashville, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee. X Golf has reinvented the player experience by creating the most accurate indoor golf simulators on the market today, giving every person the power to take on the world's top courses, compete in a wide variety of game formats, improve your swing with lessons and analytics while being totally entertained. New this month in November, Monday Night Football leagues started this past Monday, and you can come in and compete for prizes, bragging rights while watching Monday Night Football on one of X Golf's 10 big screen TVs. Find all about league details for Monday Night Football and X Golf leagues at xgolfnashville.com. Also, a perfect opportunity for you to take your corporate outings and company outings for holiday parties this season. xgolfnashville.com. So, Sam, I will send you to the chat. What are people saying as the X Golf X Factor in today's game against these Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
We got the run game from JM, the secondary from Jake. Tim Kelly says Stephen King. Titans touchdown says Tiffany Levis. It's an easy one from Yamahama. Let's see. We've got coaching. We got Will Levis. We've got pass defense is the X Factor. O-line. Matt says the X Factor is Kyle Phillips, believe it or not.
Okay.
Luman says it's Trayvon Wesco today. Trayvon Wesco is his X Factor today.
It's not a bad answer, though, right? Because, like, he's going to have to pass protect. Andre Dillard's the left tackle.
Well, and you mentioned, right, like Todd Bowles' blitz tendencies and how that might help the Titans in play action pass. And we know that Will Levis has, made a habit to go deep off of play action pass a bit. But all of that hinges on being able to protect it. And especially when a pretty good Bucs front is bringing pressure, is Andre Dillard able to protect it well enough to give Levis a chance to go deep, or is he going to be overwhelmed up there? So, yeah, I mean, you could certainly make a case for Trayvon Wesco to be an X Factor today. Michael says it's the intermediate pass defense rather. Spears, we've got offensive line holding up against the blitz. So in line with what I just said from Alton there. Front seven getting back on track. We've got Chig from Corey Davis. We've got offensive line, specifically left tackle, says Karen. Dillard's pass blocking, says Ken. So he's on that Andre Dillard watch as well. Austin, what is your X Factor for a Titans win today?
Time out real quick. We need more people to like the show. We need more people to like the show. Hit that thumbs up button. We need more
That's
people.
That's an X Factor for the pregame show.
Definitely. My X Factor today, Sam, I think is a common theme. And I'm trying to figure out when I'm approaching something that can no longer be viewed as an X Factor, because it's always going to be an X Factor at this point. But it's being efficient in the red zone. Like the Tennessee Titans have been fine at moving the football up and down the field really all season long. Like they're not like bottoming out in the NFL in total yards. Like they're gaining 350 plus yards a game nearly in some of the outside the Browns game that just tanks everything, where they had like 100 yards of offense the entire day. But they've been able to move the football. It's just that Nick Folk is kicking way too many field goals in the red zone. And you go look at the Pittsburgh Steelers game where Will Levis moving the ball up and down the field. He has a ton of yards, 2 drives at the end of the first half, end of the game, where they're gaining 50 plus yards. And it's just not ending in 7 points. Like Nick Folk needs to be kicking extra points. And so staying efficient in the red zone is so important. And I'm really struggling to figure out, to put my finger on why the Titans are having these issues, because it seems like it's not like one or two things. It's a combination of like the entirety of the unit of penalties in the O-line, pass interferences on the tight ends and receivers, just missed assignments, bad play calls from Tim Kelly, poor execution, Tajay Spears getting his feet tangled up, and Will Levis not throwing the perfect throw, right? It's all these different things that are adding up to the Titans settling for field goals. And so I'm just going to have to say efficiency in the red zone, or avoid the red zone altogether like you did against the Falcons and just throw bombs and beat the Bucs that way.
Yeah, can't keep settling for 3. We've had enough field goal fests on the year so far. As much as I love me some Nick Folk, a little bit less of him might be good, as long as it's extra points, like you said. Austin, my X Factor, I actually kind of just switched it sitting here thinking, because you mentioned the Titans taking advantage of a Bucs weakness. I think the Bucs could be able to take advantage of a Titans weakness. And so I look at one guy named Trey Avery as my X Factor today. These Bucs wide receivers are a problem. We know how good this duo is of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And Christian Fulton is probably going to be dealing with Chris Godwin today for the most part. Trey Avery is going to be the guy matched up with Mike Evans for a majority of the day. That seems to be kind of what's going to happen here. So Roger McCreary in the slot, that you kind of have some communication troubles and still some issues in that back end of that secondary with the safeties. Trey Avery's going to need to step up. Baker Mayfield is going to look to get the ball down the field to Mike Evans, and you can't get beat over the top. He did a relatively okay job at that in Pittsburgh, except when the Titans really needed him to step up in Pittsburgh. Yeah. He gave up some big plays. So that is going to be something the Bucs look to do. You mentioned a team who can't really run the ball, who hasn't really run the ball, who loves their play action pass. If Trey Avery can just do a serviceable job on Mike Evans, I like the Titans' odds here, but I do think there's a chance that they get beat deep a couple times and it could cost them this football game.
All right, so let's think on this, because the Titans play their corners like left and right side. They don't have their corners follow or trail a specific receiver. Do you know if the Bucs play mostly like Mike Evans on one side or Godwin on the other side, like the majority of the time? Like, obviously they move the receivers, but do you know if it's like a majority left side for Evans or something like that?
I'm not sure what that breakdown looks like. I just know the Titans have made it a point in the past to get Christian Fulton off of oversized receivers. They don't love playing him against those big wideout sort of types. You know, that they're fine with letting him deal with the Stephon Diggses of the world or the Chris Godwins of the world that he can like physically match up with a little bit more. But if there's a guy who can just go up over the top of him, they have historically chosen to go away from him in those spots. So my expectation is that he'll deal with Godwin and Avery's going to deal with Evans. But I mean, you could even flop that the other way and say it's Chris Godwin taking on Trey Avery. Like, he's going to have to guard an elite level wide receiver and not give up big plays. You know, that seems to be something. And hey, Christian Fulton's been better over the last few weeks here. He's really stepped up his game. But obviously the not having Sean Murphy-Bunting in there could be a problem.
But it is a big deal, in my opinion, to get Roger McCreary back, because now Eric Garror is not going to get picked on as your nickel corner, because the last couple of games when the Falcons needed a play or when the Steelers needed a play, they went towards Eric Garror. Now, Eric Garror nearly gave up that touchdown to George Pickens in the corner, you know, by a couple blades of grass on Thursday night 10 days ago. And so I think the fact that Garror is still the punt returner, that's fine. You want Eric Garror there, but you at least have McCreary back in the middle, so you're not down both SMB and McCreary like you were in Pittsburgh for the majority of that game. That's a big deal.
For sure. Yeah. I think that it's, you know, going to be interesting having two of these top corners of this game out and, you know, a couple quarterbacks who here's my other miniature X factor that I'll kind of just throw some why I think this is important as well. Baker Mayfield is a damn magician back there. Every time I watch the Bucs play, I am amazed at how he is able to escape sacks, extend plays, create defensive breakdowns by just ducking under tackles and sacks and stuff. And so I think, you know, if you're able to get home and Arden Key is able to like actually get a quarterback on the ground for the first time in a month, that would be great. But if he's extending plays, you know, Trey Avery's going to have to cover for a while. That could be problematic.
Yeah. And, you know, Baker Mayfield's been doing that. I've watched Oklahoma beat Tennessee, you know, with Baker Mayfield at quarterback a couple times doing those type of things. Very frustrating to watch as an opposing fan. Baker Mayfield pretty good and slippery of getting out of things. I did see this, and I saw some people in the chat have seen it as well on social media. Chance Campbell was elevated from the practice squad today to play, and
he was signed to the 53.
Oh, he was signed to 53. Well,
yeah,
he got hurt in pregame warmups, and so he is now out. So you know, of course, right? It's just one of those things. Like, of course, Chance Campbell just gets signed to the 53-man roster, and something happens in pregame warmups, and Chance Campbell now out. So the second-year linebacker out of Ole Miss is still having a unfortunate start to his NFL career, missed the majority of last season, if not all of it, with an injury as well. And now I'm not going to get out there today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you know, that's kind of how it's crumbled for him so far. So
yeah. No. Another thing you brought up, you know, X factors, and staying on the defensive side of the football real quick, as we're about to enter 10 minutes before kickoff here on our X Golf X Factor pregame show. You brought up Trey Avery. I think Jack Gibbons is something to watch too, because of how often Tampa is throwing to the running back, Rachaad White.
Rachaad White out of the backfield is like half their offense. When things aren't going, Rachaad White has 10 targets to 13 targets. Like, he's their safety valve when the rest of the offense isn't working.
Yeah, so that's something to keep on there too. All right, so let's get to our Titan bingo. We do have an opportunity for Titan bingo to get hit today. So we want to know, are we going to hit Titan bingo? Do you guys expect it to happen today or not? I will show our updated bingo board for Titan bingo here momentarily. But first, I want to tell everybody about our great friends at the Mint Gaming Hall, just 35 minutes north of downtown Nashville. The Mint Gaming Hall is where you can go and play all types of games, over 1,000 games, big screen TVs, food, drinks, all the fun at the Mint Gaming Hall in Kentucky. Don't miss Green Gobbler drawings. Went up to $2,000 in cash and free play coming up later this month. That's November 22nd through the 25th. So it's coming up right before Thanksgiving. Green Gobbler drawings. You can win up to $2,000 in cash and free play later on November. You can stop by the center bar to watch all the games for the big screens. I think that's a great idea if you're trying to take advantage of all of the Thanksgiving weekend football. They've got you at the Mint Gaming Hall. Maybe that Friday, Saturday, if you don't want to deal with Black Friday shopping, the Mint Gaming Hall could be a great excuse to go up there to Southern Kentucky and to enter those Green Gobbler drawings. TheMintGaming.com is where to go. Sam, here is our bingo board. If the Titans can score 30 points for the first time since December of 2021, we will hit a Titan bingo today.
Okay, well, that's, a little easier said than done, but.
Yeah. So what do you think's coming off the board today? Obviously, Treylon Burks is out with the concussion protocol, so we can't get the Burks 100-yard games that would give us another chance at bingo, or a Burks touchdown that would give us another shot because Kyle Phillips in our diagonal bingo opportunity. But the board is filling up. Road victory is an opportunity. There's some spots here. Can Diop have a big day going for 150? Kyle Phillips in the end zone, special teams. There's some opportunities here as well. So, Sam, what do you think is coming off the bingo board today?
Nothing. Not. I don't want to be that guy. I didn't think I'd ever hit this spot. And so I will say, best thing for me, I think the best shot, obviously road victory is certainly attainable here with what I think is a very winnable game. If there's one of these player props that I like, it's going to be D-Hop over 150. I think we could see a couple big plays to him today. So those would be the two that I have my eye on. I don't think anything's coming off this bingo board today. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong here. I hope I get proven wrong. I have been dead wrong in every prediction I've made on a pregame show so far. So we'll see. But
yeah. Caleb says Mike Vrabel hates scoring points. 30 is never happening. Oh man. Let's see. I'm going to get Orlando says I got road win and a wide receiver going over 150. Lou Man says going 30-pointer. Kyle says Chig and Phillips touchdown today. Roberto saying Phillips touchdown and road victory. Brad just can the Titans finally win away from Nissan Stadium?
We'll see.
I mean, it's been ridiculous. We're approaching one full 12-month calendar of that win in Green Bay before Thanksgiving last season.
Yeah, they'll have 2 tries at not reaching a full calendar year, I think. Well, maybe.
No, this is it.
Oh, right. What was it? The 18th in Green Bay last year? Something
17th.
Like that?
The 18th is the date that Todd Downing got arrested for the DUI.
Okay, so the 17th was the Green Bay game. So next week in Jacksonville will be the 19th. So this is their last chance to get a road win in the last 365.
Yeah. Lucas says Tampa isn't good at home. Sam, I'm going to make a prediction. We get a bingo today. The Titans are scoring 30 points.
Wow.
The Tennessee Titans are scoring 30 points today because the Bucs defense is vulnerable. And I think the Titans can take advantage of that. I think they're going to score over 30 for the first time since they played the Miami Dolphins in Nashville in December of 2021. That's my official prediction.
All right. I don't hate that at all.
Now, does that mean the Titans win the game?
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the Titans respond offensively after watching what Houston was able to do to this team with those weapons. Obviously, CJ Stroud is looking phenomenal, right? But if you come out and lay an egg against this defense after Houston, how many points did they put up? 40?
39.
39. Yeah. that'd be a tough pill to swallow a little bit.
All right. So you how do you feel about my prediction? 30 points.
I don't think it's impossible. I do think this is probably going to be a little bit higher scoring of a game than people think. So I don't know what the over-under is at on BetMGM, but I do like the over probably, depending on what it's at. I don't know if you have
This
that
is like
handy.
one of the only times I would bet a Titans over this season.
Do you have it handy? Do we know what it
I
is?
do not. I know the line moved because the Titans were a 1.5 point dog, and now the Tennessee Titans are a 2.5 point dog. We'll talk about that. Let me see if
Let's
I
see
can
if I
get
can.
it's a 39 and a
39 and a
half.
half. I'm taking that over all day. All day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be a very smart move to do that. Over 39 and a half, I think is absolutely happening. All right. So let's just do that. Let's talk about our pregame predictions here with our friends at BetMGM. You can win big with our code ATOZ Sports. That's ATOZ Sports. And you get a first bet offer to take advantage of up to $1,500 back in bonus bets. If your first bet misses, that's when you sign up with BetMGM code ATOZ Sports. So take advantage of that. They are official partner of the Tennessee Titans. So once again, sign up with code ATOZ Sports to go big on your first bet because you get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets. If that first bet misses, visit betmgm.com for terms and conditions. 21 or older, Tennessee only, new customer offer. All promotions, subject to qualification, and eligible requirements. First online room money wager only. Rewards issued non-renewable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days. And for problem game support, call Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789. So Sam, I'll let you take it to the prediction window. The Titans are 2.5 point underdogs in Tampa today. So predictions from the chat, predictions from you. Let's see it.
Well, Titans Kyle says it's going to be a Titans win, 31-24. We got 28-17 Buccaneers from Trevor. Orlando says Titans going to blow them out and win 31-13. Julia says Bucs 28, Titans 16. Derek says Titans 30, Bucs 17. Alex says Titans win 21-17. Guy says the Bucs win 27-19. Anthony says Bucs win 27-17. 30-29 Buccaneers is what Jake's on. 31-28 Titans from Ronnie. 28-21 Titans. 20-13 Titans. 27-21 Titans from Kevin. And now some good Titans win predictions pouring in by some of the people here. Austin, I would be interested in going back. I think I'm wrong on every game but one so far on my pregame prediction. I might be wrong on every game on who wins. I think I've missed every
Did you
single
pick
time.
Steelers or Titans?
I picked the Titans over the Steelers. I've had a lot of faith, I guess, in the Titans to be able to like win on the road. I think the only time I got it right was Baltimore. That Baltimore would beat the Titans in London. And other than that, I have been dead wrong. So I'm going to try it the other way. 24-23, Tampa Bay is going to win this game. A couple big plays from Baker Mayfield. Will Levis going to make some big plays of his own. Maybe a turnover here or there. And I just think, the road woes are going to continue. Maybe this is like reverse jinx here and it'll help. But I'm going to say 24-23 Bucs. I think for every reason you could feel good about this game as a Titans fan, there is a reason on the other side to have concern. If you're like, oh, their corner's out. Okay, so is yours. Their offensive line's not great. Neither is yours. So we'll see.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to stick with my prediction. I'm going to make things make sense. Titans 31, Bucs 34. I think we're going to see a bunch of points today, guys. So buckle up. This is going to be a 65
took 65 points in a 38.5 game.
That's right. 39.5. Hammer it.
Wow.
Over 39.5. Hammer it. Will Levis to throw over 1.5 touchdowns at plus 150. Chig over 29.5 receiving yards. Hit that too. Over. But the Titans are losers in this prediction. But hey, we'd have a lot of fun watching that thing. So hey, before you head out of here, like the show, hit the thumbs up button. We need that to happen. Thumbs up on the show if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube and Twitch. We'll be back for the halftime show right at halftime. Don't miss it. It's fast. It's everything. You got to be here on time for halftime show. And also shout out to all of our great friends for our Titan Game Day Live this season. Adventure Science Center, Jarrett Fire, Chim Chimney, BetMGM, the Mint Gaming Hall, the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry. This has been the X Golf Nashville pregame show. We'll see you guys at halftime. Enjoy the